welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. I'm super excited because today we're going to do a fun glitter smoky eye that I did when I went out with some girlfriends last night, and I got a ton of compliments on it, so I really wanted to show you guys how to do it, and I've gotten really good feedback of you guys wanting to see it and how it's done. Hopefully you guys can kind of follow along with me. I will say that I already have most of my face done with my highlighter, my blush, my eyebrows, and my face foundation. So I'll link that in the bottom as well of what I was using today, so you guys can kind of see where that is and what I've been using. With this tutorial, I want to see how it turns out. So make sure if you guys repeat this look and retry it and recreate it, tag me in it. I want to see how it turns out. I would love to see how it looks. Let's get started and I'll show you how to do this. When I started my makeup look already today, I already started and I already had to prime my face, did my foundation, did my concealer and all that stuff. So the first thing I do when I start with a makeup look like this is I use a concealer to start priming my eyelids. There are some concealers that you can use. Concealer's been really good for me lately, and that's what I've kind of been using. The one I will be using, and I'll let you guys know, I've been using this Colourpop No Filter Concealer. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids. Today I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette again. It's one of my favorites. There's just so many great colors that you can use in here, and they're all really great, so I tend to kind of stick with a lot of the colors in this, especially when I'm going to do that smoky eye look, because she's really great at doing that, and those dark colors really make it pop. So the first color I'm going to go in with is going to be the color Beam, and it's the second color right here in this shadow, or in this palette, and that's going to be the first color I use. One thing I'd start with before when I do this is I like to make sure I set my under eyes. If I have any fallout from the eyeshadows, I'm able to wipe it away pretty quickly. So right now I'm going to be using my Perfect Setting Powder from Color FX, and I'm just going to use my Morphe brush. That's so gross. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Anyways, so I'm going to use my Morphe sponge. It's like their contour sponge, and I'm just going to dip my sponge into there, and I'm just going to create a nice little harsh line right here, just so I am able, once I'm set with all my eyeshadows, I'm able to just wipe that clean and I'm good to go. So I tend to use this as kind of a guideline as well for when I do my smoky eyes, so I can get a nice winged look. I'm going to grab my Morphe brush. Again, I will link some of the Morphe brushes I use, and you guys can see that. With this, I clean my brushes before each time I use my eyeshadow, and one that I have been hooked on brush cleaners, my friend Natalie, shout out Natalie for showing me about this, because this has been life-changing, and I ended up buying the huge bottle of it. It's the Cinema Secrets Pro Cosmetics Makeup Brush Cleaner, and what I really like about this is the fact that I can spray on my brush, and I'll spray it, and I will wipe it off, and yes, I have a towel on my lap, so it's not my pants, I swear. But normally I do that. So I will clean this off, and just so I can get a fresh brush to use. A fresh brush to use. And the best part about this stuff is that it dries so quickly, so it's not something you have to sit and leave and kind of come back to. I just wipe it off and it's ready to go. So that's one of my favorite things about that. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a tip there. So I'm going to go in with the color Beam. And I am going to just place this all over my eyelid, including up into my brow bone, and I'm just going to cover that whole thing. I'm going to take that color Pukey, and I'm going to put it right into my crease here and make sure we get it nice and even, blending it out quite a bit, just so we don't have any weird lines or anything like that. So with this Jaclyn Hill palette, the next color I'm going to use is I'm going to come down here to this mocha right here, and I'm going to put that a little bit over top of where I just was, with the Pukey color. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to go back into that little crease area, and I'm just going to darken that up a slight bit. So again, just taking it, evening it out across the entire crease there, and and making sure I get that nice and even throughout the entire eyelid there. The next color I'm going to go in with right here is going to be Central Park, and I use that on the corners of my eyelids to make it a little bit darker. Sometimes I will use, and I'll kind of switch between the looks sometimes. This is a little bit darker brown color. If I want it a little bit darker, I will use the black, and it's the Abyss in this one, and it's a very pigmented black. But for now, I kind of want to keep it with the more brown tone, so I'm going to stick with Central Park. And again, I am going to put it into the outer corners here, making it a little bit darker and deeper because it's going to really accentuate that glitter when you put it on there. Once I do that, I'm going to do the lower lash line real quick, and I can show you how I do that. So taking those same colors I've been using, I am going to first start with that pukey brown again. And again, I'm not calling that pukey like it's ugly. That's literally the name. So I'm going to take that pukey brown, and I'm going to take an Urban Decay shadow brush that I have, and it's a little bit more pointed, and I'm able to kind of get into that lash line a little bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead, and I am just going to cover down underneath on my lash line. This part can be a little messy because you can go in and kind of, with this part, you want to be a little bit conscious of where you're putting it. I tend to not put it too low down, because sometimes once you do that, you're almost creating like a dark under eye for yourself. And I'm someone that has really bad dark under eye circles, so I try not to go too low and create something that I'm trying to cover up in the first place. So I like to just keep that just a little bit below my lash line there, and I just stabbed myself, and I almost made the weirdest sound. And I am just going to put that all the way under, and I will come up through almost to my inner corner of my eye, but I'll just leave a little bit of space because I'm going to kind of touch that up in a little bit. I also, when I do this, I like to make sure that when I take this, I follow through up to the colors in the corner there, just so it's a little bit more blended and it's a little bit easier to see, and you're not really kind of just creating just a whole like thing, you know. So yeah, I know that was a great description. Good job, Kayla. So I'm gonna take Morphe brush, my Morphe brush, and this one is a little bit more square here, and this is gonna be really good to get into that lash line. And I'm going to go back in with that same color, Central Park. I'm going to dab that brush into that a little bit, and I'm going to really press it in up onto that line. I want it right at my eye, like I said, at that eyelash. I want it right at that eyelash line, so it's not, like I said, creating that darkness that I'm trying to cover up with my concealer. That's just how I like to do it. So again, I take this and I make sure that I blend that all the way back up into that, to that side right there, up to that corner, just to make sure that it's not, like I said, a lot of harsh lines, and make sure that it's blended and it looks pretty. So I've been into these glitters a lot lately. I just think it's a fun thing to do if you're going out with some girlfriends, if you're going on a date night, or just going out to do whatever. It's just been kind of fun for me to use this, and I've been kind of getting a lot of compliments, so I've kind of been just playing around with some of the different the glitter things. The one thing I will say is that they are a little difficult to work with, so if you're not 100% confident with them yet, there are some easier options. This one, I've kind of come to the conclusion that for me it makes it easier just because I'm able to kind of manipulate it and make it in a way that I want it to look. So something I've been using is the NYX glitter primer to start off with. You're going to really want to get one of these because it helps. You can use concealer too. I like to just stick with what they give you. Not what they give you. I like to stick with what they have, and it makes it really easy to do. The two colors I use are these NYX, they're called the glitter palettes. The that I have are 05 and 04. 04 is a little bit more of a bronze color, and the 05 is a little bit more of a gold color. I actually mix both of these, and I'll show you how I do that here in a second. I'm going to start off with that NYX primer, that glitter primer, and I'm going to take some of it, and I am going to create almost like an arch where my eye, where the crease of my eye is. So I'm going to start right here into the inner corners, and I am going to pull it up and through about halfway on my eyelid. I'm going to take that 05, which was that gold color, and I am going to put it on the inner corner of my eye. Next I'm going to take that bronze color, and I am going to just tap that over top of that, and I'm just going to follow through where I put that primer. I will drag it into that gold color just to make it a little bit more even, so it's not just like look like gold and then bronze, so it'll look almost a little bit like faded into it. The next color I'm going to take is on this Jaclyn Hill palette. It's this 24/7 right here. And I'm going to take that and I'm just going to just blend that over just a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do, which for some people it's kind of up to you. I like to have a little bit of a brighter inner corner here. So I will take my little Morphe, one of my Morphe pointed brush. I will spray it with my MAC Fix Plus. And it's in a different container because when I first originally got it, it had broke and I didn't feel like going back to the store because I was really excited to just have it. So that's why it's in a different color. I'm going back with that same color and when I first started with that beam color right here. And I'm going to take a little bit in that dab. It just wettens your brush just a little bit, and I'm going to put just a little bit into that corner where that gold was. It just softens it up a little bit and to make it a little bit brighter and just have a little like color. A little color. Just a little color. That's so that's that side of the eye. I'm going to do my right eye, and once I finish that, I'll show you the rest of this, how to finish this look off. Just finished my right eye, and the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black Prolong Fluid Line in BLackTrack. I'm going to just use this brush from Morphe that I use. I normally use an IT Cosmetics brush that I really like. It's my angled brush, but I can't find it right now. And it's so sad because I just had it and I just don't know where it went. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to create a wing line look. So I am going to take my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil, and I'm going to do my waterline and just a little bit onto my eyelash line, just to kind of fill that in a little bit, so it's not just a black hole. So it's not just like a big black gap between it. Go ahead and curl my eyelashes real quick. My mom always yells at me because she says we're way too harsh, me and my sister, when it comes to this. But whatever. I'm going to take the Ardell eyelashes that I have, and they are the babies. I like to use them because, like I said, I'm not looking for length. I am looking solely for the purpose of adding just some thickness and volume to them. So that's the only reason I'm going to use them today, and just to show you how they look. Fun fact, I don't actually use eyelash glue. My sister actually taught me this, and I've been using it ever since, just because it's not as harsh on my eyes personally. So I'm going to use the Super Bond Professional Formula Dark. It's hair bond glue, so it's actually for extensions, and I've been using this honestly since I was in high school, and I like this because it's a little bit more tacky. You can kind of move it around before it finally sets on your eyeball, on your eyelash, or on your eyes, and so that way you don't have to have a ton of different things. Personally, I don't like the stuff that comes with it. I feel like it kind of, once it sticks on your eye, it's very hard and it hurts. This is so flexible and it moves and it's easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead and use this, and how I apply it is I either use an end of a bobby pin or I use toothpicks. Yay! Today I'm going to use a super duper end of a bobby pin. I do cut my eyelashes as well, just to make sure that they're at a place where I want them to be. So again, if you are someone, excuse me, so again, you can totally use your tweezers. These are my boyfriend's. I took them from him. No, I didn't. He left them here, and I'm not giving them back. So then I use those, and I just finished that off. So as you can see, I'm almost done with the look here. The one thing I will say is I'm going to take a brush right now, and I'm going to wipe away underneath that eye. One, it's going to wipe some of that excess glitter off, but then it's also going to finish off that the look, and I also just set my eyes. So that's great. I'm obsessed with this Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. Sorry, Ryder. I keep scanning my dog. I am so sorry, bud. I am going to go ahead and just get... I just stabbed myself in the eye. I'm going to go ahead and just get in there and make sure my eyelashes are bonding to those false eyelashes. The other eye. And I will do the bottom of my lashes, or my eyelashes as well, just because it's the look that I'm going for today. So for the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Maybelline Super Stay Matte ink. It's on, it stays. So I would suggest kind of practicing. The one thing I do kind of make sure I try to do is I make sure I accentuate, because I have no upper lip whatsoever. So I have no upper lip, so I accentuate that a little bit more, just so I can kind of look like they're a little bit more even. So here's the finished look, and let me know what you guys think of it, and let me know what you thought of this video. Make sure that if you guys check out this video and you kind of put your own spin on it, make sure you tag me. I want to see what you guys do with it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram if you want to see some of my makeup posts that I've been playing around with. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you guys next time. Here, say hi. It's not a video unless my puppy says hello to everyone. Ow. You're so big. Why are you getting so big? Check out this shirt though. Powerline. I got it from Target. How dope is that?